Welcome back. The old video showing how to set up land is now outdated because Splinterlands now has all of your actual plots and all your actual assets in the Mavs server, which is next.mavs-sl.com. Maybe I could put that in the comments or something like that, or someone else will. So yes, if you go to your Praetoria, you'll have all the regions. Yes, I have a bunch of random plots in different regions, but we're going to focus on, you know what, I've already done a little bit on Asgerson, so we're going to focus on the one that I have the most next, maybe a little bit more relatable for people to have just 44 plots, and I've not done anything here in Ickledown. So we're going to look at all my plots. All the status is just owned. And if we go over to mavs.peakmonsters.com, you'll see here 44 and 44 undeveloped, as opposed to I've already developed what appears to be 53 over on that. And I did another video, but we're gonna make this one even better and shorter. And so we're going to, this is the region view mode. If we go to deeds, we'll just see them all together. But if we go to regions, and then we look at just 55, and in fact, we could, or sorry, 5, we could just put in here, sorry, what is that, region 5? I don't know why that didn't work. So we ask that you help us with some bug testing, and that is one obvious bug that we can work with. So that may, some of these things that what happened is, sorry, that wasn't very good English, is that Splinterlands may change something, and then we have to update what we do on our end, and we want a full list of things from the community. We want you to interact. Even if I share it here on the video, my request is that you share it on our Discord channel. So even though I could tell you that because Splinterlands changed something on power cores, probably just even just a few letters on how they show the API, that this breaks this. Now it says I have 0, but as we can tell, if we go into any plot and we click on manage, so there's lots of, you have to click on a lot of things over here. I have 1,000 power cores, so that should be showing 1,071. So just, if someone does me the favor of just mentioning, kind of pointing out, recapping any errors that I put here, that will be awesome. The Peak Monsters land tools aren't meant, we know that this won't make us any money. There's no way to make money from land, and we're not going to have some, yeah, that's just how it is. These are just going to be tools like this. As far as we know, there's no way to make money, I guess. We could think of it in the future. Anyways, so power cores is one of those things. The region filter is one of those things, tract filter. So some of these things may have gotten a little bit off, but all right. So first things first, we have to set up. If you don't own any power cores, you have to buy them, 5,000 a piece. So that's a setup aspect. Yes, your Rooney will show up here. Another setup aspect is to go to Artifact, and then you're going to have to claim tokens. Now, I've already claimed some, but I've left some that you can see. So you'll go to Common, you'll type in 2. Essentially, I'm signing a keychain transaction. You're turning totems into a non-tradable, non-token type thing. They are going to be totems. They aren't going to be tradable anymore. So think about that. But they are going to be usable. And then when you click here, you'll be able to use them. Ta-da. And then titles here. But you could use them over on Peak Monsters as well when you go and set up Now, the first time that you open this, it's going to be looking at a bunch of API, and this may be a little bit slower, but then all the rest will be fast at that point. So we do have titles here and totems here, pretty quick and easy. We do have, yeah, I'll show you titles. Now, last time I checked, when I clicked on Rooney, it did not work. Someone else told me it worked. I am skeptical of clicking on Rooney because it did kind of like break the page on me when I did it. So I don't want to click on it right now. If someone else wants to test it, and you just have to refresh the page, I'm guessing. So, all right, here we are. I don't want to fill out these ones. I kind of want to I don't have any legendary in 5. I do have, let's see, I do have one occupied in 5. So I'm definitely going to do that one first. All right. I did tell you where to buy the cores, how to get the totems. Another setup aspect is to transfer grain here. If you bought a starter pack, then you know where to get the grain, right? You click on transfer grain and then click on from my inventory. So we are going to move 1 million grain, 1, 2, 3. The recipient is self, not another player, but this is where you could transfer it from another account into the account where you actually want to do your work. So there you go. So the region that I want to transfer it to is this region. All right. Now, if you don't have any grain, and I'm not saying that you need well, you do need some grain, but you could just focus a lot on putting your workers towards grain, of course. The other thing you could do is stay here on buy grain and not go to transfer and just get, let's say, 10,000 grain. And I will spend 10,000 of this fake DEC because we are on a testing server that is not going to impact the state of your actual assets, your DEC, your cards, your anything. For example, I'm about to transfer 20 land plots to my sister so she could test out putting more land on there and see how much it would benefit her. So, all right. So that's one setup. Time crystals. If you bought a starter pack, you click this little plus next to here, and let's see. We got to stake some. This isn't time crystals. These are time crystals, and they will work no matter what region you are working on. So they are part of your actual like account balance. These are part of regional balances and will only show up when you are in a region. So for example, if we go back all this way, it's so annoying to have to click all those things. And now I have to go back again. It's just so annoying. Just don't understand it. All right, now that I'm in a specific region, it says up here 76. It now shows how much DEC I have staked, how much grain I have in there for the time crystals, and the research is per region. These three things are per region. This is confusing because this is not per region. So let's go back to 5. So we could do both of these. Okay. So now to get into, oh, now we're in 5, so I could do some of the effort here. I'm going to stake some, so I have 50 land plots. So the most I could ever use, I think, is 2.5 million. Is that right? So let's start with 1 million. is I can always stake more or unstake, and it, even if I only ever have 1 million and I fill up all 50 land plots, it just means that those workers will be working at a lower level. So 1 million still fine, just not as good as whatever it will tell me it actually wants to have. All right, so we are set up. So again, do grain, do dark energy, and then these things you don't have to worry about. And then this is at this point I would suggest, well, you did your power cores, you did your totems, you did your grain, you did your dark energy. Now everything else you just do over here on peak monsters. You decide what's the most important things to put your land on first. So if we look at all of um 5, which still am bummed that that doesn't work, we will see I've got some magical commons, a magical rare. I do have 1 epic in there. I've got a decent number of rares in there, including a couple magical rares. I do have the keep in that land. So I'll probably, what this is what you need to figure out. What is the order? So my occupied is first, even though it's tundra, which doesn't get the 10% boost. Next, I'll probably do all my magical lands. So my occupy first, my magical second, and then my keep, and then my epic, then my rare common, and then my commons. So let's start with the occupied. Here we go. So one thing that you don't want to do on Tundra is click the use 10% only. Because if I do that and then open up this land, there will be no workers available because there is no such thing as a 10% boost for Tundra. But I still don't want any negative bonuses. And if you want to use a list, then that is a feature you're going to have to request on our server. And if enough people request it, my guess is the developer will do it. So, but he won't do it if people don't request. So there you go. All right. And request on our server, on our Discord server. So, all right. So, I am set. I don't want to use any negative bonus cards. And as you can see, there's going to be a couple good ones with 5% at least. And so it's probably going to put all of these and then a couple of the zeros. But I really do want to make sure that the good 5%ers are in there. So let's click the autofill. And that's kind of what you expected, right? It was going to be these cards that we were just showing. And then we're going to put a totem in here. We'll do the legendary. And then we're going to put the Legionnaire, of which I have, that's a 10% boost. Let's do a Gambler as a 25 at least. All right, so we're up to 217. Now, this isn't quite accurate. If you want to put on our Discord server to remind us, it isn't taking into well, no, this is correct. But there is an error that when you build a work site for SPS, and this is occupied, there needs to be a number next to this. Sorry, I jumped ahead. I already know what's about to happen once I do the building. Okay, so I can hit save changes, or I could just skip over to doing my magical. You know what? We're going to hit save changes. Ta-da. Okay. And then we're going to go over to magical. And we are going to add in to the rare one the next set of best cards. Here we go. And then we're going to, oh, we should have, that's mountain. We should have did this with plus 10%. How about that? You know what? I just want the best cards there. Well, no, I'll show you what 10% does. It'll show you just the 10% boosted cards. So 8,000, 8,000, 7,800. But if I unclick it, this is where you have to make the decision. You can have all these 0% boosted cards, but there'll be 20,000. So do you want better usage of your terrain boosted cards? Is that what you want? I could get this land up quite high. Is that what you want? Or do you want, so you want the best usage of the cards, or do you want the best PP in specific land? So keep that in mind when you use this button, the plus 10. You can also just go in here. First, +5 is +10 is way down the list, and I don't see any +5s at all. And that just may be something that happens with Mountain. So in this case, I kind of want some good stuff. We can get it all the way up to 100,000 PP. So, and it is a rare plot, so now it's 110. And if we put in an epic totem, it's 160. If we put in a legionnaire title, it is 170. So, and once I put some of my Rooney in there, it'll go up by another 100. So it'll be 270. So, yeah. So there you go. Now with the common swamp, I will show the 10%. It should be okay. There's a, yeah, 10% there. If you unclick this, do I want, yeah, it's all these neutral cards. Look, it's all these neutrals that don't have a land bonus. I just never use them on my other region, so they're still here. That's the trick. That's the ticket. Every one of these, Almo, Goblin, Highlander, Elven, they're all neutral. Wait, where do I see if they're neutral or not? Lux Vega is not neutral, that's for sure. It just says common. Anyways, these top ones are all neutral. Yep, they're all neutral. Elven? Yeah, it's neutral up until you get to the Jin Bilchka. So, but you don't have, with that green plot, a bonus on Swamp, apparently. Anyways, we're going to use the bonus, the 10 bonus, and it's going to put in all these ones in the Swamp that are black and, oh, this one's blue. So Swamp gets black and blue bonuses. So death and water. That makes sense for Swamp as this kind of, yeah. Okay. Anyways, we'll do that. And then we'll do the mountain one and hit autofill. And we'll just kind of put in some common totems on these. And then the tundras, make sure to definitely not use the 10. And then we will open these two. Autofill, autofill, common. I got 356, might as well put them in there. So also you could just click real fast on save changes. Ta-da. And then we'll open it back up and go to, what did I want to do next? I wanted to do the Mythic. So we are going to hit the autofill. We got it up to 82,000. So is there a land bonus? 10% bonus on this? 33,000. The reality is, for this mountain, which likes red or fire cards, the reality is I did not want to put 80,000 on here. I only wanted to put, I kind of want to put around 40,000. So we've got 26 in there now. Let me grab a 10,000 to put in there. Let's put the Peaceful Giant. 36. Let's remove this one and put a, let's put another common in there. So I'm around 40,000. It didn't go up by much. It went from what, 43 to 44, but it is what it is. The totem encounter is a big aspect of keeps and castles. They do find totems much faster. So I don't, does this impact things? Yeah, total PP 44, 1687. It kind of stayed the same. What if I put a legendary? It doesn't change the totem counter. So is that the question for the audience? Is this working correctly? If not, let us know in our Discord. For now, I'll just put a rare one in there. Oh, the tax rate went up. So assuming that is correct, 45, what if I do this? It goes to 47. It's not worth putting my totem in there because totems are very, very valuable. So I'm going to go here. 45 is great. I think the most you can get up to is 50 anyways. So save changes. And I'm not renewing everything because I have seen a bug where sometimes it reuses the same card, which to me indicates that perhaps it's not checking to see what is staked on land. So, yeah. But we're going to go to our epic next and fill it out. So it's Tundra, so 0 on that. Autofill. I feel like I've used these before. And if I do that, it's going to error out. So this is that bug that I mentioned before. So that's unfortunate. So if you click here, well, I don't see some of this stuff, and maybe I haven't actually used these cards. Let's give it a shot. Autofill, totem, rare, save changes. Then we're going to go to the rares, and this is, and we're going to do natural. This is where it really does shine. So we're going to go boom, 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 boom. We're going to do all the non-tundras. We're going to hit the 10 plus 10%. We're going to do auto, 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 auto. There you go. Save, 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 save. In fact, if you want, you could just go straight into grain farm and add in your time crystals. You have to hit confirm. We'll do grain farm, add in time crystals, confirm. We'll do shard mine, add in time crystals, 165, confirm. We'll do building here, research hut, use time crystals, and then let's do a shard mine, confirm. Let's do a grain farm again, confirm. Now, if we go over to this, we'll see all of those completed just fine. Okay, so now what we're going to do is open all of the tundras. So you see how fast it really is? Incredibly fast. All right, are they all open? All right, we're ready to go. We can't use the 10% bonus thing, so we're just going to do autofill, 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 autofill. And then we'll hit save changes wherever it says save changes, because the other ones have already been done. Okay, and then we'll do buildings. So you can see just if you used the Splinterlands interface, you can definitely notice how much faster this is, right? Oh, I didn't put totems on them, but that's easy to do at any point you want. You can do them later too. I can do them just later today. It doesn't matter. It'll just boost things. It doesn't have any problems really. I have no rhyme or reason on what I'm putting research huts on or SPS. I just kind of want a wide range. And you can kind of tell which ones can still have it built on there and not, right? Because it has this. So, all right. All set. We should see a bunch more. So one of the work sites did not work.